California of the past.
I
I
am
am California
California
of the
of the
past.
past.
I
I
am
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 California
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 of
of
the
the
of the
past.
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 My name is Nirmala, and today I'm going to tell you my story as part of this series. My story is not one so much of a past of past times in California, but rather one of a new beginning here. My links with California go way back to my childhood and those enchanted evenings in front of the big screen watching Walt Disney's Cinderella or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or Sleeping Beauty. In fact, Woody Woodpecker, Looney Tunes, and Tom and Jerry, they've all been part of my childhood, an inseparable part. And so I've always felt this link with California. We actually came to California after my husband retired. We have our two sons here, and they said that they wanted us to move here because they felt it was more practical for us, the two of us to move, than for all of them to make short trips to India. It wasn't an easy decision to make, to uproot ourselves at that stage in our lives and move to a new place. I mean, it wasn't a strange place, but it, nonetheless, new lifestyle. And so we thought about it a good deal. And it was, of course, the grandchildren who tilted the scale in favor of move here to the US. Our experience from earlier visits, had made it very clear that unless we were mobile, we would lead very, very restricted lives. We would have to depend on the children to, take us out to places and things. So the very first thing that we did was to try and get our driver's license. In retrospect, it is very amusing to think of how we pored over the California driver's handbook, looking up every single rule and trying to see how different it was from what we'd been used to. And we pored over its pages and tested each other on the do's and don'ts of lawful driving here. And I often heard my husband mutter, saying, I don't think I studied so hard, even for my BA exams. But it was very confusing to begin with. My reflexes were all wrong. And my hand kept reaching out, my left hand kept reaching out for gears, which I realized were located on the right hand side. And I kept looking, the rear view mirror seemed tilted in the wrong direction. And in India, we have what is called a free left, where you can make a left turn after watching out for oncoming traffic. And here it's the other way around. So all that was very difficult to get used to. We had to unlearn things before we could learn the. Anyway, it all paid off, and soon we were driving around, and driving around in more ways than one, because often we lost our way and found ourselves almost back where we started. And it was much later that my son here got, quite frustrated with trying to tell us how to get back. And he presented us with a thick, fat book, the Thomas Guide, the street maps. And after that, of course, it was a breeze. Then in 2003, we moved to Sunnyvale, and things changed a little bit, and everything for the better. I gave up my job when we relocated because I didn't want to drive all the way to Fremont. But we were now about 15 minutes drive from my son's place instead of 40 minutes. And then there were several nieces and nephews living within 15 minutes driving distance. So that was good. And because I had quit my job, I now had a lot more time for friends and family visiting. So that was good too. Once we settled down, we started looking, getting familiar with the neighborhood. And one of the first things I did was to become a member of the Sunnyvale Public Library. In 2006, my husband and I became US citizens, and this gave us an opportunity to become more involved with the activities of the city. I was able to become a member of one of the commissions here, and both my husband and I have served as election officers over the past 4 years. It was like having an intensive course on the polling process and all with all its ramifications. Very, very educative, a hands-on experience almost. All this has given a sense of belonging, which is very satisfying. Recently, I became a volunteer at the Sunnyvale Library, and I spent several hours here reveling in being surrounded by books. And it has been real eye opener to find out how many details have to be coordinated to ensure the smooth functioning of the library. As I said earlier, our lives have been enriched by all these activities, and we have met some of the nicest people here, warm, friendly, caring, and very generous with their friendship. Certainly, we feel fortunate in belonging to a city like Sunnyvale and being able to contribute to its life.